Hey, John the Tech here from Linkswell Automotive, and in this installation video we'll be installing our T-style radio replacement into this F-150 with manual AC. We'll have a different video for anything with the automatic AC. So when you open up your new T-style radio replacement, these are the parts that are going to come in the box. You've got your GPS antenna, you're going to have your main power harness, this is going to be the adapter, this is going to plug straight into the factory plugs that you unplug from the CD player down below. Your inputs for your videos and your cameras, your outputs for different things. So you have auxiliary, your DVR, your outputs for your amplifiers, inputs for different cameras, your FM antenna adapter, your USB, which will come with a factory USB adapter as well, the OBD adapter, your Wi-Fi antenna, and your factory backup camera interface. Now, it's going to come with two separate harnesses, one for the 4-inch, one for the 8-inch, and then as of course your replacement piece that's going to have the tablet and the radio and everything all mounted into one piece to make this install simple. All right, for our install, we're going to have to remove all of the factory dash panel here, and in order to do that, there's a rubber mat here on the top. We'll remove this, and then underneath there will be two 7mm that will pop off this top tray. And then once we've pulled off this top tray, there'll be two more 7mm here on top that holds this front face piece on. Once we get those out, that'll snap off. We'll unplug everything from behind the controls here, and then we'll pull out the CD player, the screen itself, and then the factory sync piece that's behind it. Now this is a 4-inch with manual AC. There also are 8-inch with manual AC. The 8-inch will be a little bit different. The 8-inch screen and the sync module will be actually attached to each other. Still be the same 3 screws. Everything will basically be the same. We're just installing on a 4-inch, so if you have an 8-inch, it'll look a slightly different, but the overall removal will be the same. So we're going to go ahead and pull this all apart. Once we get it apart, we'll talk about our harnesses. Now you see on the 4-inch we have a small plug behind the screen here. In your kit there will be a small plug if you've got a factory backup camera that will plug in here and will interface that way. If you have the 4-inch, what you have to do is you have to use the OBD plug, and you'll plug that into the OBD and run it up here for the OBD information. Now if it's got an 8-inch monitor, the sync unit here, who's separate on a 4-inch, will actually be attached to the back of the 8-inch, and we can actually get the OBD info from the 8-inch at that plug. So there will be a different plug adapter to use the factory backup camera. You will have to hook up the power to it. You'll see that in the instruction manual when you open it up. You're going to connect an orange wire with a green and white wire, and that's going to power up your factory camera. So on this one as well, when you remove the factory sync module, this is going to be your factory USB. You'll unplug it from here, and this will plug directly into your new USB harness on the factory one, or on the your new T-style radio, so your factory USB will keep working. So we're going to go ahead and pull the rest of this out, and then we're going to talk about how we have to remove the back of the front piece here so that we can get a hold of our passenger airbag cover. So we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so there are a few pieces that you're gonna have to take off the factory face piece that you're gonna have to put on your new T-style face piece, and those pieces are the clips here. You can see all these spots here. You're gonna want to use a little flat blade screwdriver to remove these clips so that you can move them over onto your new one. As well, you're going to want to unclip the buttons here on top for your hazard lights and your traction control buttons in this vehicle. And then you're going to have to actually access the other side of the circuit board. So in order for us to do that, we're going to need a T10. We're going to remove all of these silver screws here. We'll pull off this plastic piece, and then just the center circuit board. There'll be 6 more of the T10s. We'll pull those off. There'll be 4 ribbon cables. It's going to take a little bit of tedious work, but as soon as we get the circuit board out, we'll be able to remove some of the buttons, and then once we get to those buttons, I'll show you how you can unclip the factory airbag piece. So you can see now that we've got back to it again, we're going to pull the centerpiece out. So there's 6 more of these screws. We'll pull those out. To get these ribbon cables undone, you're going to grab this little little yellow, maybe a white piece depending on your circuit board. You're going to pull up just a little bit, you'll feel it click, and that'll let you unplug the one side of the ribbon cables. So we'll pull this out and then we'll get our little switches out. So this is the piece that we're after here. We want to be able to unclip this. Easiest way to do this is just to get a really small flat blade screwdriver. You can see there's 2 clips on each side on the top and bottom. It's going to be get to the ones you can get to and just kind of finesse your way out of there. Just be careful to not break these off, otherwise they won't snap into the new piece. There you go. Now we have it out. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to pull off the 6 P1 or P0, depending on which P1 or P0 tip you have. We're going to pull these off. We're going to be very careful because there's a huge ribbon cable that's attaching the tablet to the radio unit. So we're just going to remove this up just enough to scoot it out of the way so that we can get to right underneath here where our airbag lights are. Okay, now that you've got all these screws out, like I said, we're going to be really careful. We're just going to pull it back just enough to get to this circuit board here at the bottom. We're going to pull off the 2 screws on each side, and then we'll pull this up, and then our airbag thing will just snap right in. Snaps in just like that, and we're just going to reverse order, put it back together. And there we go, we got our piece in there. So we'll go ahead and take our buttons that we snapped out of there, we'll put those in, make sure you put them in the right spots, put those in, snap it in, and now our new piece is ready to go into the truck. So now we're back in the truck and it's time to start plugging everything in. So I want to talk real quick about the backup camera. You notice we were installing on a F-150 with the factory 4-inch. Our specific truck didn't come with a factory backup camera, so we actually ran an aftermarket one. But I wanted to show you what you would do should you have the factory backup camera. Now your kit's going to come with 2 different plugs for your camera interface. One's going to be the big plug for the factory 8-inch, and then the other one's going to be a smaller one for the factory 4-inch. Now these will plug directly into the plugs that were plugged into the screen, and it's going to give you the RCA output for your backup camera, and you'll plug that directly into your camera input harness that comes with the kit. There's a slight difference though. With the 4-inch, there's no power needed. It all powers itself, so it'll just plug directly in. But when you have the 8-inch, you actually have to power up the camera, and so this orange wire here will attach to the green with a white stripe on your camera input. This is going to power up your factory backup camera. So you're going to want to make sure that you attach the green, white, and orange wires here as well as the RCAs. The other thing that makes things different is you have to power up the USB, which plugs in here and will plug into your factory main harness. The black and yellow is for your OBD, and the orange and black is for your USB power. So if you were installing this with one with an 8-inch, you would be able to plug your USB power into your factory main or your main harness, and your OBD would plug in here as well. Now because we're doing a 4-inch, we had to run the OBD adapter that comes in the kit from the OBD plug up front here, and it will plug into the same plug on the power harness. What you gain with the 8-inch is you don't have to run to the OBD, but both of them will give you the same information on the screen. So that's kind of what the difference is with the backup camera. The rest of the stuff is plug and play. You have your factory USB adapter will plug straight into that. You've got your 2 plugs for your manual AC. Again, this is for a manual AC. I'll do another video because it's a totally different install for anything with the automatic AC, the ones where you can control your air conditioner not just by hot and cold, but by specific temperatures. So if that is your vehicle, you've got the wrong kit and the wrong video, we have a different kit and different video for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and plug everything in. A couple things you want to make sure you do. You want to make sure you put your USB antenna on the back of your tablet, as well as put your GPS antenna somewhere not under metal so that it can receive the satellite transmissions. And once you do that, You're going to run everything in here. Everything's going to plug into the radio. It's going to go right back into the factory way. We'll use the same 7mm to mount it. We'll put the top piece back on. We'll power it on, and then we'll do some how-to videos and show you some of the cool features our T-style unit has. There you have it, all plugged in. Everything's all touchscreen. Your AC controls are all going to go up here, your heater, which vent you have going on, AM, FM, all that fun stuff. So check out some of our other videos. We're going to have some how-to videos, how to do different things, how to go into the App Store, how to download apps, how to change splash screens, how to control Bluetooth, how to do your phone mirroring, all that stuff. We'll do some videos for that, so just check our YouTube channel. You can see our other things. We have other interfaces, so if you don't want to replace your whole dash, you just want to add some cameras, or maybe add some HDMI, maybe add a navigation to your factory Ford Sync or your factory GM MyLink system or IntelliLink for GMC. We've got different interfaces for different cars. We can do all of that. You can check out our website, www.linkswellinc.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Keep up with some of the cool stuff we have going on. This is for our F-150. We've got stuff coming out for the Ram, Tundra, Mustang, and a whole slew of new cars that we're getting ready to test some of these cool things out on. So keep up with what we have going on through our social media.